Right. Okay, everyone. Today we had the 2020 error paper. Right. In that paper, we had the second paper today. Right. The first paper was on 27th of this month. There are several comments from the students. Some of the students are saying the first paper is difficult. Some of the students are saying the second paper is difficult. Some are saying both are difficult, some are saying both are easy, right? So that is what we expect as a lecturer usually, right, at the end of the paper in each year. But what we thought of doing several questions from the paper, which will be useful for the 2021 students as well as the 2022 students. So then I'm starting from the second paper. We will discuss the first paper as well. Now, after discussing both of these two papers, we will come to a conclusion whether the paper is actually difficult or is it easy or what, right? Okay. Now, by the time we discuss the paper, we will have the entire analysis of all the entire paper with all the past paper questions from the 2012 to now. But now, from this video, I'm going to discuss the question number 2A, which is from the first in first out method and the weighted average method. So then you might wonder why I have selected this question. Why I have selected this question, because this particular part I have done with my 2020 annual very recently. Therefore, I send you this paper for y'all and I ask you to do this particular question. I think that you have already done this question. If not, please do that question and then thereafter you watch the video. Right? Okay. We'll go back to the question. We'll come back to the question. They say the following information relevant to the inventory item DM1 traded by the Suranga PLC for the month of January 2020. They have given few information and asking you to calculate the cost of the inventory as at 31st Jan 2020 using the first in first out method, then the cost of sales under the first in first out method, and then the cost of sales under the weighted average method. Right? You want to calculate first cost of the closing stock under what? Under the FIFO method. You know that when you are calculating the cost of sales under the closing stock under the FIFO method, you don't want to prepare the store station. You don't want to prepare the store station. You can do that particular calculation in a very simple way. How it is? Take the opening stock in units. Take the opening stock. So then we do entire calculation in units. According to the information, there are 500 units in the store, and then thereafter you take how many units you have purchased. You have purchased 3 times 300, that is on 5th January. Then again another 300, that will be on 15th January, and then again another 200. Altogether you have purchased 800 units during the year. And you sold during the year, you did sales 2 times 400 units and 300 units. Altogether you sold 700 units. So then how many units will be available in your closing stock? How many units will be available in your closing stock? You had 500 units, then you purchased 800 units during the month, so altogether 1300 minus 700, your closing stock would consist with how many units? 600 units. Now, this 600 has to be valid based on the first in first out assumptions. So, when you are valuing your closing stock under the first in first out assumptions, how are you supposed to do? You know that under the first in first out method, your assumption is whatever the inventory you get first will be issued first. Whatever the inventory you got first, you issued first. So then if you issue whatever the inventory that you get first, your closing stock will remain with the most recent purchases. Your closing stock will remain under the FIFO method. Your closing stock will remain with the most recent purchases. What is the most recent purchases? So look at this. On 31st January, you have purchased 200. That is the most recent purchases. Definitely, based on this assumption, this 200 is available. That 200 you purchased at 26. Then the value of the inventory become how much? Value of that particular inventory, 200 units will be 5,200. There are 600 more units. There are 600 units. That means on 15 January you have purchased 300 units. Obviously that 300 units is also available. That you bought at 25, then it will be how much? 7,500. Now altogether how many units? Out of the 600, how many units you valid? 500 units units you have valid, you need to vary another 100 more units. Then only you will get 600. That 100 would be from the purchase that you made on 5th January. 5th January you did the purchase at 24, then it will be 2400. And the value of the inventory become how much? 700, 6, 13, it's 15,100. Under the first in first out method, cost of your closing stock will be rupees 15,100. Check whether your answer is correct. Right. So in the same question B part, you want to calculate the cost of sales under the first in first out method. Right. How are you going to calculate the cost of sales? We'll see. Cost of sales under FIFO method. How many times you solve this, Kuta? On 12 January as well as on 25th January. On 12 January, you have sold 400 units. So, how are you going to calculate the cost? Look at the assumption, first in, first out. Whatever the inventory you got first will be issued first. So, then your opening stock consists with 500 units. So, then when you are issuing under the FIFO method, first you need to issue from the opening stock. Cost of the opening stock per unit is 20, therefore this 400 units you will vary at 20, it will be how much? Rupees 8,000. First, the cost of the first sales is rupees 8,000. Look at the next. On 25th January, you have sold another 300 units. So when you are valuing that 300, again the same assumption, first in, first out. Therefore, how do you gonna issue the inventory to the? You make an assumption. Whatever the inventory you get first, you issue first. Therefore, from the opening stock, you have already issued 400 units. Then, from the opening stock, there are 100 units. You know that opening stock cost per unit is 20. Then it will be 2,000. And again, another 200 units you must issue. That 200 you will have to issue from the next purchase that you have done on 5th January at 24. Then it will be 4,800. Then under the cost of sales, it's 14,800. Under the first in first out method, cost of sales will be 14,800. If my calculations are correct, 8,000 plus 2,000, 10,000 plus 4,800, it's 14,800. Right. This is the cost of sales under the FIFO method. Check whether your answer is correct. Right. We will move to the last part of this question, which is calculations of cost of sales under the weighted average method. Right. Calculations of cost of sales under the weighted average method. How are you supposed to calculate the cost of sales under the weighted average method? You know that under the weighted average method, when you are issuing the inventories, you are issuing the inventories at a single artificial price. Right. Single artificial price. So that word is very important. We have discussed this. The meaning of that particular word in our classes, right? So then we will have to calculate a single artificial price by the time we are issuing the inventory. So on 1st January, you had 500 units, so then you need to calculate the weighted average price. The value of it 20 per unit, then it will be 10,000. Then on 5th January, you have purchased another 300 units at 24. Then it will be 7,200. 24 into 3, 72, 7,200. Then how many units are available before the issue? 800 units. Then the cost of that 800 units will be 17,200. 17,200. Now you will calculate on 12th January, you made a sales, right? When you are calculating the cost of that particular sales, I told you you are issuing at the single artificial price. How are you going to calculate that single artificial price? By the time you make the issue, get the value of the inventory, get the value of inventory, which is 17,200. That will divide by the number of units available. So the 17,200 when you divide by 800, it will be 21.5. Therefore, your closing stock, sorry, your these 400 units of sales you need to validate 21.5. Then it will be 21.5 into 400. It will be 8,600. Good, right? Then thereafter, you did another purchase of 25th January, sorry, 15th January, 300 units at 25, then the value of it will be 7,500. So the before this purchase shall we calculate the number of units issued and after number of units available and the value of the inventory is available. Before the issue there were 800 units, then from that you issued 400, then there were 400 units, and here 17,200 were there. Then you have issued 8,600. So half of the inventory, definitely then it will be 8,600. Right. Now on 25th January, next transaction is the sales. 25th January, 25th January, there was an issue of 300 units. So before the issue, there are 700 units. Before the issue, there are 700 units in the store, and if you calculate the value of it, it will be 16,100. Right. Now you can do the second sales. That will be on 25th January. You sold 300 units. How do you calculate the value of it? So how you want to calculate the value of it? 16,100. That is the value of the inventory is available divided by 700. So the 16,100 when you divide by 700, you will get 23. And this 300 you need to validate 23. When you are validate 23, it will be 6,900. Right? So you want to calculate the cost of sales. Right? How many times you made the sales? 2 times. First, the cost of the first sale is 8,600. Cost of the second sale is 6,900. 6,900. Altogether it is 15,500. This is the cost of sales under the weighted average method. Obviously, cost of sales under the weighted average method should be higher than the cost of sales what we calculated under the first in first out method. Under the first in first out method, cost of sales is calculated. Under the FIFO method, cost of sales is calculated 14,800, but under the weighted average method it is 15,500. Right. This question is 2020 A level paper, question number 2A. The examiner has allocated 12 marks to this question. Okay, complete your question with that.